To start off my video, you have one of your gas struts. The strut with other one on the other side is used to hold up the bonnet. VIN numbers. The vehicle identification number is used by law enforcement agencies to identify the owner of the car in case the car is stolen. Located to the right of the gas strut, you have a piece of rubber that forms part of your weather stripping to stop water from going into the engine compartment. To the left of my video, you have a grill. Behind the grill, you have your load-bearing member that supports the McPherson strut. Also on the member, you have your 3 nuts that are used to hold the top of the strut and a hole for the strut tower. Located on the engine, you have your timing belt cover. The cover is used to stop debris and water from going into the timing belt system. At the rear left of the engine compartment, you have your master cylinder. Located above the master cylinder, you have your brake fluid tank with cap. In front of the tank, you have your air conditioning pipe. The pipe is used to take the refrigerant from one part of the system to the other part of the system. Located to the left of the pipe, you have your 2 pipes that are part of your fuel system. Located on one of the pipes, you have your fuel pulsation damper. To the left of the damper, you have your expansion tank. The expansion tank system is needed because as coolant heats up, it expands. So there needs to be a location where the expanded coolant can go to, so that is why you have an expansion tank. On the tank itself, you have a sensor that tells the driver if the coolant level is too low, your pressure cap, and last, your expansion line. The line is used to take the expanded coolant from the engine. Located below the tank, you have one of your engine mounts. This mount with another mount on the other side is used to attach the engine to the longitudinal members. You have one of your air conditioning recharge points. The point is used with other point so you can attach a air conditioning recharge machine to the system. Also on the pipe, you have a pressure sensor that is used to tell the climate control ECU the pressure in the line. On the back of the headlight, you have an electrical connector to control the headlight. Located in this area, you have your auxiliary belt system. The auxiliary belt system consists of your crankshaft drive pulley that is used to drive the belt system, your belt tensioner that keeps the belt in tension, your AC compressor that is used to pump the refrigerant around the air conditioning system, and last, your alternator. The alternator is used to power the 12-volt system when the engine is running. On the alternator itself, you have holes to keep the alternator cool, and last, your stator windings. Located at the very front of the engine compartment on your slam panel, you have your sticker that is used to warn the operator about the hazards in the engine compartment. Located at the front of the engine compartment, you have your radiator. The radiator is used to keep the coolant cool. Because of the lack of air going into the radiator when the car is not moving, you need a cooling fan to force air into the radiator. Behind the fan, you have your DC electric motor to drive the cooling fan. Also in this area, you have your pipes for your cooling system and other components. Located in this area, you have your intake manifold. The manifold is used to take the air from the electronic throttle body to the inlet ports of the engine. Below the intake manifold, you have your air-to-water intercooler. When you compress air, it heats up. So, to reduce the heat of the air, you need an intercooler. To improve throttle response, the air-to-water intercooler system is used to reduce the distance the air needs to travel. To the bottom left of my video, you have your pipe that goes from the air-to-water intercooler to the outlet of the turbo compressor housing. Located towards the center of my video, you have two of your locations to attach your hooks for the engine crane. Located to the right of the valve cover that is used to cover the camshafts and stop debris and water going into the camshaft system, you have your high pressure fuel line that goes from the high pressure pump to the fuel rail. Located on top of the valve cover, you have a box that is part of your crankcase breather system that is used to prevent overpressure in the crankcase. Located left of the box, you have your dipstick. The dipstick is used to check how much oil is left in the oil sump. To the rear right of the dipstick, you have your oil filler cap. Located bottom left of my video, you have one of your bonnet latches that is used to hold down that side of the bonnet. Behind the bonnet latch, you have Skoda's Simply Clever washer fluid cap that doubles as a funnel. From the cap, you can see your pipe that goes from the cap to the washer fluid tank. Behind the cap, you have your air filter. The air filter is used to filter out dust and debris from entering the engine. Located to the right of my video, you have your power distribution box. The box is used to take the 12-volt power to each of the 12-volt systems. In the box itself, you have your fuses that provide circuit protection from short circuits and relays. The relays allow small current circuits to control big current circuits. To the left of the power distribution box, you have a cover to protect the engine control unit. The engine control unit is used to control the engine by taking inputs from sensors and using that information to control the engine actuators. To the left of the engine control unit cover is your 12-volt battery. The 12-volt battery is used to power the 12-volt system when the engine is not running. On the battery itself, you have a cover to protect service personnel from creating a short circuit. Behind the cover, you have your positive terminal that takes electrons from the battery to the 12-volt system. Also, you have your negative post to return the electrons to the battery. And last, you have a plate to hold down the battery. In this car, the 12-volt battery sits on a battery tray. To the left of the battery, you have your pipe that goes from the air filter to the turbo compressor housing inlet. Located to the right of my video, you have one of your bonnet hinges. The hinges are used to hold that side of the bonnet to the car. Located on the underside of the bonnet, you have your two bonnet strikers that engage with your bonnet latch system and sound deadening to reduce noise of the engine. Located to the left of the pipe that goes from the air filter to the turbo, you have your pipe that takes the fuel from the tank to the high pressure pump. The pump is used to increase the fuel pressure from low pressure to high pressure to be used for the fuel injection system. In this DLAA engine, the max fuel injection pressure is 350 bar. Also in this area, you have your 3 electrical connectors that supply power and also are used to control your coil packs. The coil packs are used to take the 12 volts from the battery to very high voltage to be used so the spark can jump the spark plug gaps to ignite the fuel air mix in the combustion chamber. Towards the rear of the engine compartment, looking down, you have your 2 cables that are used to connect the gear selector to the shift rods of the gearbox. In silver, you have your gearbox differential housing. The housing houses your differential and stops debris and water going into the oil. The drive shafts are used to take drive from the differential to the wheel hubs. At the top right of my video, you have your other engine mount. Below the engine mount, you have your gearbox. The gearbox is used to provide different gear ratios for different driving situations. Located to the right, just out of shot, you have your gearbox code. And the gearbox code is OAJ. Located on the drive shaft, you have your tripod constant velocity joint. At the rear left of the engine compartment, you have your ABS modulator. The ABS modulator is used to prevent the wheels locking up during hard braking. Please note, the ABS modulator is used for other things, like traction control and other systems. Located just behind the differential housing, you have your anti-roll bar. Behind the anti-roll bar, you have your steering rack. Located just offset from my video, you have your 2 pipes that take coolant from the engine to your heater matrix. The heater matrix that is located behind the dash is used to heat up the air going into the cabin. To the left of the 2 pipes, you have your post-cat lambda sensor. The oxygen sensor is used to tell the engine control unit about catalytic converter efficiency. Also in the back of the engine compartment, you have your heat shielding. The heat shielding is used to protect components from heat damage. Located in this area, you have your exhaust module that has your auto particulate filter and one of your catalytic converters. The OPF is used to reduce particulates going out of the tailpipe. You also have one of your catalytic converters to reduce harmful emissions going out of the tailpipe. In this car, there is a second one located under the car. Thank you very much for watching my video and goodbye.